Okay, guys, another video. Just a small one. Hopefully small. Well, it's never small. I talk too much. This one's just going to show a little bit more work that we're doing for sound suppression inside the car. There are a lot of rattles. Rattles are a problem. Fuzzy tape is usually your friend, Dynamat, and other stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you some of the videos and just give you an idea of some of the stuff that we've done so far. Still rattling, still more work to do. Takes a while to go, so I'm just going to show you the whole process as we go. In the first video, let me turn on the volume here. In the first video here, we're showing you. Go. There's the topper, the back. You'll see the little foam pieces. That's actually the same foam you use for your air conditioners. Of the edges of your air conditioner, all run all the way across in there. We put even more foam in there, and of course you got the regular Honda diapers. It's working, slowly but surely. We get it done. If you got a quick look when we were looking at it, you could see the tweeters glued in there. So there's really not much to that video, so we'll just shut that one down. Also, next video I'm going to show you the subwoofer. Even though it had with its own little bit of foaming around it, and we used Dynamat, it was still rattling a bit. That's a lot of power. I mean, I'm only running it at 150 watts. I could be running it at 300. But what the hell for? 150 puts out plenty of sound for me in that little car. So we had to put some actual foam underneath there to try to quiet it down a bit, because at 60 hertz we were running a hertz sound thing. In fact, I'm going to play that for you probably with the sound. So here's the foam sub. Go. And it's just a kicker sub. We just put little chunks of foam. Yeah, it looks stupid, it looks amateurish, and yes, that's exactly what it is. It is amateurish, but quite frankly, it's going to be under the deck. Nobody's going to see it, and who gives a crap? As long as it makes it quiet, I don't care. That video is really, really short. I don't care what it looks like, just as long as it doesn't rattle. I cannot stand the rattles. They drive me berserk. There is one thing, one caveat, something you got to look out for. We were listening for rattles. We heard a lot of rattles, and sometimes rattles aren't where you think they are. And I'm going to show you a big rattle, one that you may not find easily, but just so you know ahead of time, you start getting rattles, one place to look. We're going to go now. See that? Those are your seat releases. Yes, those little bastards will rattle. And you can't put too thick between them, otherwise they won't clip back in. But if you look, we used some fuzzy tape. Just tape a little fuzz and all that, and it keeps them from rattling up and down, because they do tend to rattle a little bit. That one in particular that we're looking at right now tends to rattle a lot. So we fuzzed it up, and now it doesn't rattle. I don't know why I'm showing underneath there. But we got that all calmed down. If you look closer, you can see the fuzzy tape. It helped a lot, took care of that rattle completely. I still need to do some dynamatting under there. I really need to pull everything out in Dynamat, but, it can be difficult to reclip stuff. But that's one caveat to watch out for. Now, in the next video, I'm gonna play this video straight through and let you listen to it. I'm not gonna play it on here, but I'm gonna put it on there. So we're gonna go ahead and play it, and I'm gonna talk at the same time. Just give you an idea as we look at it. Go. Hear the buzzing, the hum. We're running frequencies through there. You'll hear rattling as we get closer to the seatbelt. That seatbelt rattled, and we kind of made a big mistake, because that's the center seatbelt, and I didn't care. I was going to just take it out. Unfortunately, here you can hear it rattling. I'm sure you can hear it. Nice and quiet. Very rattly. All right, that's going to be probably the end of that video in a second. All right. This is what happens when you unhook that seatbelt. You unhook that top bolt there, and the seatbelt will start going down, and it'll lock. You can't get it back up. And we looked at lots of YouTube videos on how to get it to unlock, and we could not get the darn thing to unlock. So right now, my friend's got the seatbelt at home, but he took it apart and the little pieces came out. So now he's got to figure out how to get it back together and how to get it working again. Don't screw with the seatbelt. What we should have done is stuck some foam on the edges and foamed it out to keep it from rattling and so forth. Stupid on our part. We thought it was just easy to take it out, because I never would use it. It's not so easy. There's a way to deal with seatbelts. There's a way to unlock them. They ain't so easy to deal with. So unless you know what the hell you're doing, don't screw around with the seatbelt. but the seatbelts will tend to rattle. I think a piece of foam on each edge, on the side edges, you'll see there was like plastic on each side like that. Put foam between there, nice and tight. I think that'll stop them from rattling. You can use a little glue to glue it on there if you need to. But I think that'll do. That'll do just fine. And the last video that I'm going to put on here, and we're going to go now. No, actually, I think I got a few more. I got 2 more. This video right here, we're basically dynamating more. We should have done more dynamating in the first place. We didn't put enough, in my opinion. We're putting it over the speakers themselves to make sure none of the speakers rattle anymore. He had some right on the edges, but now we're putting a big chunk of it in there, and we're really gonna mush it in there. I got a lot of that stuff. The less sound, the better. I don't know how much of that stuff really going to quiet things down. I think we might be misusing this stuff. Either way, that back deck is a problem. It rattles a lot. And so we've been doing a lot of matting to try to calm down. I think the edges rattle. I also think a lot of the rattles we're not hearing. We don't know where they are. They sound like they're coming from the speakers. They're really not. They're probably coming from other things nearby, like that seat release in the back. It sounded like it was coming from the. It sounded like it was coming from the speaker, but it wasn't. We were running a tone generator from a cell phone. The biggest places where I had the biggest amount of sound problems is in the 57 to 62 hertz range. Especially in the 60 hertz range, you would get a lot of rattles and buzzes. However, these are only good for basic stuff to start it off. Your real big time is you really need to play the music, because even to get rid of a lot of those, there's still a lot of waving music. Getting down to that, I'm going to recommend a piece of music that's fantastic for testing cars. The piece is called Koyani Scazzi. I'm going to put it down here on the bottom. Koyani Scazzi by a man by the name of Philip Glass. Let's stop that video. Philip Glass. Well, don't even worry about it. The movie's called Koyani Scazzi. It's the first piece by that name called Koyani Scazzi. Has a lot of lows that go up and down and so forth without big beats, which can give you a nice long kind of tone, but a mixture of tones that moves back and forth without you having to fool around with a tone generator. And that way you can get an idea how music sounds in there. It may seem like a weird piece, but I recommend getting that piece of music. Again, it's Koyani Scazzi by Philip Glass, and it's from the album, from a movie called Koyani Scazzi. It's the first piece, Koyani Scazzi. And use that, and that'll help you out. Now, the last thing that we've done so far as part of the top, and I'm going to go ahead and play that next. One of the problems we have since the subwoofer is pushing a lot more power, a lot more noise, sometimes the whole deck can rattle up and down, and where the curve of the back stoplight is can rattle against the window. So the way we handle that, and go. Right there, fuzzy tape. I don't know if it's 100% yet, but it's just nice black fuzzy tape, and it may look bad, and it'll come off easily too if you don't like it. But from a distance, it looks like it matches, because it's kind of textured, kind of like the rest of it. So fuzzy tape, that's our last little sound dampening thing that we're doing now. We still got more sound dampening to go. So I'm going to cut this video short. Again, boring video for some of you guys, but just wanted you guys to see it. And what we're doing to do some of the sound dampening and finding places that I know are big problems on this car. I'm also having a big problem with the driver's side door. You got the door handle, and just behind the door handle where the black meets the leather or whatever, there's a buzz right there. So I don't know if we can put some matting behind that part of the door, and that'll stop it. A lot of people have been hearing a rattle that sounds like it's coming from right behind your ear in the seatbelt thing. I don't think it's that. I think it's that part of the door, because that same rattle is coming from there, and I think that's what it is. So you guys might be, you get fooled by the way the sound moves around. So fair warning on that. Okay, that's the end of this on sound matting and dampening that we're doing. And Verdier out. Peace out to all you guys, and I will keep working on more videos that more of you are going to like. Take care.